Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing the IWC Timezoner Top Gun Ceratanium. Now, of course, it is part of the Pilot's Watch line. It launched in 2021. It features a Ceratanium case, and we'll talk about what that means in a moment. It is a large watch. If you think IWC Big Pilot's Watch, you're on the right track. This is 46 millimeters in diameter by 15.2 millimeters thick, from lug tip to lug tip, 55 millimeters, with a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Throw it on the wrist, you can see it wears large. I would recommend a wrist of 17 centimeters circumference or larger to wear this watch. Taking a look, you can see that the lugs do overhang the edge of my wrist. Now, maybe it's not as thick as it could be, given the complexity of it, but it's still a thick watch with a very sheer case that makes the most of that thickness. It's not going to clear dress cuffs, but it will click jacket cuffs. Right underneath the jacket cuff, not a problem. Taking a quick look at the watch from over the top, it does exaggerate the width, but take my word for it, it's too big for me. Even as I move away from the camera, you can see down the barrel that I've got lug overlap. That said, it is a robust thing, held on by a strap that's a combination of textile and vulcanized rubber. You can see it is a brand new IWC factory strap, and that we have a Ceratanium buckle to match the Ceratanium case. So originally launched on a bafflingly complex Galapagos-themed multi-complication, Ceratanium is IWC's ceramized titanium. So the outer layer has been transformed into ceramic, which gives it the scratch resistance of ceramic. But because the core is still made of titanium underneath the coating, you can't crack it, break it in half, or fracture it through, which exorcises one of the demons that haunts most ceramic watches, which is that given the right hit, you could fracture the case, snap off a lug, or even worse. So taking a look all the way around, you can see it is a matte finish. It is a media blast that appears to be native to this Ceratanium material. We have a bezel insert that's made of true ceramic, and you can see the bezel is the key to working the Timezoner function. We have a screw-down crown. The watch features water resistance of 100 meters. So with this combination of rubber, textile, Ceratanium, and a screw down, this is a watch you could take swimming. The watch is a Timezoner. So if you're familiar with the original Andreas Streller designed Vogard watches or the original Timezoner chronograph from IWC, this works a little bit differently. Instead of setting a second time zone using the bezel, you still use the bezel to adjust the hour. What you're looking at center is a display that is mechanically geared to the local hour. So you have 24 reference cities representing the 24 principal time zones of the world. So let's say I'm in Samoa and it's, well, 11:24, and I want to travel to Dhaka. I can do that. And the watch will not only give me the correct time, it'll let me know whether it's day or night. So I can also use this. Let's say I am in Dhaka and it is now 4:24 a.m., which it clearly is because we're not in the 12 to 24-hour section of the scale. Now let's say I want to find out if my friends in New York are going to be awake, if I want to make a phone call to them. So I move New York to the top, and now you can see, yeah, it would be appropriate to call. It's in the evening in New York, but it's not as though it's in the middle of the night. They're not going to be asleep. So that's how that works. This is a system for instantaneously gauging the hour in any of these reference time zones. And then you could see that there's a little offset built in, letting you know for the cities that use summer and winter time to make an adjustment and to offset from the city to the little index with an S if they are in the midst of their summertime schedules. The dial is subdued, it's blackened. This is part of the Pilot's Watch Top Gun style. So this watch, of course, blacked out, tactical, if you will, related to the famed naval fighter weapons school. It is loomed surprisingly well for a watch that is all subdued. And then we turn it over, and we have IWC caliber 82760. So you're actually looking at a smoked sapphire. The movement hasn't been darkened or coated What you're looking at is a standard rhodium-plated brass movement underneath a smoked sapphire. There's a rose gold medallion inside the skeletonized rotor. We have the IWC Albert Peloton designed Paul-based bidirectional winding system, the forerunner of every Paul-based winding system, now in full ceramic so it doesn't create dirt on the movement like previous generations. We have a 4 Hertz beat rate and a balance that's free sprung with all the adjustments done using bolts on the balance rim itself, all 5-position adjusted. This pivots on 22 joules. It's got a 60-hour power reserve. And again, it's protected down to 100 meters. This is the reference 3955-05. It is not an artisanally decorated movement. It's mostly mechanically finished, but it is a handsomely finished movement. If you love this watch, reach out to me. I am Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.